Hey all, Hipper here. Today we're looking at the Z-39 and this is my favorite destroyer in the game. So I'm using Bay here and Swirsky and Sims for extra concealment and hit points. And sometimes I take a listen closely, but not this time. And then I have Perceptive and Smoke in the Water. So very, very basic, normal setup here. And I actually don't use this build here when I play normally. I'll go through. In the end of this video here, I'll give you a little teaser, but the next couple of videos, I'll show you the build that I really use. But that's going to be a secret until tomorrow. So on Z-39, we have Smoke, and this thing has a speed boost, and I love that. That's why it's my favorite, along with the 5 kilometer sonar, which is awesome. So much utility in this ship here, and it's really tough. The only problem is that the guns are, well, below average, I think. So concealment 100, we got a detectability of 5 kilometers, which is the same as the sonar range. So like I said, the video from yesterday with Z-35 and the video for today with Z-39, they are standard destroyer builds using Bay. And yeah, this setup works fine. I have nothing against it, but it's not the setup I use, and it's not the commander that I use. I have a completely different commander and a completely different setup. And if you stick around, tomorrow I'll put up the first video with either Z-35 or 39, I don't know which one, with my build, the one that I like, and the one I think is the best build for these ships here. But anyway, today we're taking Bay out, and the good thing about this build here is that you have pretty much stealth hydro, because you have 5 kilometer hydro and you have 5 kilometer concealment. So as soon as you're spotted, you know that there's a destroyer in range. Smoke generator started. And like I said, Z-39, it is my favorite destroyer in the game. Tashkent is also a destroyer, but I don't really consider that destroyer. It's my favorite ship, but favorite destroyer is this one here. And why is that, you might ask? And the reason is exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm sitting in smoke and I'm covering the whole cap with my sonar. So this cap belongs to me, pretty much. Any destroyer venturing in here will be spotted, and of course I will shoot at him, and anyone else in range will shoot at him. So this way you can pretty much always grab the cap that you spawn at pretty easily. No destroyer wants to be spotted for several minutes by a hydro. And as you can see, you have ample warning of incoming torpedoes. This build here gives you 3.5 kilometers, but the one we'll look at tomorrow gives us even more. Another reason that I like this destroyer here is that it is tier 6. So you get to face tier 5s, and it's pretty rare you get teamed up or teamed against a radar cruiser. It doesn't happen very often. And without radar cruisers in the game, these 5 kilometer hydro destroyers here, they are kings. Really the only way to take them out is to rush them with 2 or 3 ships. Because one solo destroyer, it's not going to work. It does take a long time to actually kill another destroyer because the guns are so unreliable. But that is a downside, and I guess that's fair enough, because otherwise these things would be way too powerful. Like this 5 kilometer sonar here on the premium German tier 6 destroyers, it is nasty. I don't know what the win rate for me is in these things here, but it's high. It's rare I lose a battle, and even the worst teams, the ones you cannot carry in your cruiser, you can carry in Z-35 or Z-39. Of course, there are still teams where you are going to lose no matter what you do, but it's drastically cut down in these destroyers here. And that's another reason that when you look at people's win rates, I mean, they are overall win rates. So if someone plays a lot of ships like these destroyers here that just are so good at carrying games, then it doesn't really mean much. The only way you can compare these things here is to compare it on a per ship basis, and to filter between solo and division plays. Everything else is just a number. I would also say that these tier 6 German destroyers here, they are probably some of the only pay-to-win, like real pay-to-win ships that you have in this game. Simply because they have that 5-kilometer sonar. Like nothing else comes close in game. I mean, Hipper has 5.6, and that's a cruiser. So and that's also why the sonar is so important on these ships here. So also Z-39, I much prefer it to the Tech Tree Z-23 at tier 7 actually. I think 39 is much better. And also, like I said before, it doesn't get to face that many radar cruisers. So you can pretty much just do what you want in these ships here, especially when you're facing tier 5s. It's not even fair. Now by that I don't mean that you're going to have like a massive damage games in these ships here, but oh, well, maybe you do, but I don't, because that's not my primary purpose when I play these ships. The purpose for me is to take the enemy destroyers out and to cap, and that's it. So if I get an opportunity to shoot torpedoes at a battleship, sure, I'll take it, but like I said, I'm not going to actively chase them around, at least not until I have taken 2 of the caps on the map and the victory looks pretty secure. Because as long as I'm sitting around here capping and like keeping a lookout for enemy destroyers, then at the same time I'm spotting for my team. So as long as I just keep that in mind and make sure I keep most of the enemy team spotted while I'm doing my thing, then that's, in my opinion, the best thing you can do in these ships here. And then of course, like 2/3 or halfway into the battle, when you have 2 caps and you have a healthy point lead, you can start to think about chasing down straggling like stragglers and battleships that have been left by themselves on the flank and stuff like that. But it's not the primary purpose. I mean, this is not a Yudachi. And of course, the most important thing about these premium tier 6 German destroyers here, it is that they're fun to play. They are a lot of fun. Not as fun as cruisers, but it's very, very close, I think. This long-range sonar here that these guys come equipped with, it's just so much fun. You can just get away with so many things in these ships here. Like for example, here I'm sitting less than 4 kilometers from a battleship, and I don't really care because I'm in smoke and I have my sonar on, and I can see him clearly, but he can't do anything to me. So I can just do whatever I want basically. Once the enemy destroyers have been cleaned out, which is very easy in these tier 6 Germans here, then yeah, the world's your oyster basically. So I usually become more and more aggressive as the battle goes on, and usually in the last 5 minutes, if we have a good point lead and there's no real danger of losing, then I'll go all in. But we're not at that point yet. We are only 1 ship ahead, and the enemies can still turn this around. So I'll just have to defend this cap here for another few minutes, and then we can think about doing something else. I also enjoy these destroyers here, these tier 6 Germans here, because they up tier really, really well. Like, I don't really care if I play tier 7 ships or even legendary ships, if that should ever happen. Except for radar cruisers, of course. But other than that, they do fine against the higher tiers. It's not a problem, really. I mean, once these things are get into the cap and are allowed to smoke up and turn their hydro on, then it is a tough thing to wrestle them out of there, even if you're in a Kleber or a Shimakaze or something crazy like that. Simply because like they have so much warning, and if you try to torp them from outside the cap, that's nearly impossible, because with the hydro on you get 3.5 kilometer warning. With this build here, tomorrow I'll show you a different one where you actually get a lot more. So I'm out of torps now, so I'm not going to waste more time on this Normandy here. And as you can see on the map, the carrier is heading in to Citadel him out of this world with bombers. So there's really no point sticking around here anymore. So as I say that, I get attacked by the enemy carrier, and he's a little bit too early with his torp drop there, so not much of a problem. But we do get the Nagato down here, and I think I got, yes, a look at a carrier out there as well. So it makes more sense to go out here and annoy these guys now, because the carrier is going to take care of the Normandy, that's for sure. So like I said, even if you get in like super perfect torp strikes like this one here, you're not going to get much damage from them, because the torps don't do much damage. It's nothing like the Japanese. For example, this one, if you were in a Japanese destroyer and you had like a nice spread out 4 torpedo spread there that hit the battleship, well, that will be a certain kill. But here it's not. He still has actually quite a bit of health left. So we'll just use the tankiness of this destroyer here to take him on, and then see if we can get around to the other side of him, and see if we can't get our other torps in play when we get around to that side. Of course, there's not really enough time left, because as you can see, we are almost at 1,000 points. But this is just to show off how tanky these destroyers actually are. If you want to sort of brawl, I guess you can. I wouldn't recommend it, but you can. So we're getting to the end of the battle here, and like I said, these are traditional builds, but they are not the builds that I actually run. This one here on Z-39 and the one from yesterday on Z-35. I run a different build, and in my next video tomorrow I'll tell you what I actually run, and always run, that is, because I think it's much better than running Bay. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you out there.